Hello punters and welcome back to another Saturday racing preview. What a terrific meetings, two meetings we've got tomorrow. We've got the Caulfield Cup, of course, at Caulfield, and the Everest up at Randwick. Really looking forward to it. It's a terrific day of racing. Really looking forward to getting into it. They're going to be obviously the two meetings we're going to focus on. Really going to do a bit of an in-depth look both at the Caulfield Cup and the Everest because there's a lot of good key chances. I know a few of you out there, like I like to do, is if there's something that you like, I want to make a good case for it. Tell you what my thoughts are of each runner, and just sort of give you an insight on what I think are the main chances. So we'll be doing that in this video. Of course, Caulfield in the first video here. I'm just going to get straight into it. So if you got your form guides, you've got your tab apps, sports bet apps, whatever it is, open them up, follow along. Hopefully getting plenty of winners in the way. If you haven't already done so, I've got my Pakenham tips out on social media. So you can go check them out. So we can hopefully build a bit of a bank tonight ahead of tomorrow's racing. Looking forward into race number 1 at Caulfield tomorrow. At the moment, the track's a good 4. There is a bit of rain about here in Victoria at the moment, so just keep an eye on that. It could potentially jump into the soft range by tomorrow, so we need to keep that in mind. And I've done that with the form. I've sort of tried to look at horses that obviously can perform on top of the ground, but also are able to get through the soft conditions, because that, if we do get that sort of track, we want to be prepared for it. So look at the first race tomorrow. It's over the 700 metres, benchmark 80. It's the Keno Classic Handicap. And look at the speed map in this one. I'd say that Arctic Shock will probably use the inside barrier to get into a prominent position. I'd say Extreme Pride and Vidgear will probably find the top. Quality Seek won't be far off, but Mickey Blue Eyes will be pretty close to them. But I don't really see a whole lot of speed in this. And it'd be interesting to see what Starcaster does from barrier 10. Bit of a sticky draw for it, but I'd say that it might follow that speed forward to get into a prominent spot. Look, I'm with Starcaster here because I think that this horse is coming into this. It's definitely a winnable race for it. Its form in Great Britain would have it win this. Now, my only little concern is that it obviously in Great Britain ran around the 2,000 to 2,300 metre mark, so 2,400 even. That was the sort of distance range that it went after. But its recent trial at Cranbourne was terrific. Its jump outs have been quite sharp. This looks to be a really good horse, and there's been a bit of a spruik on this horse on the Freeman Yard. And for me, I just want to get back it on quality. I think that perhaps if it shows up, it's in order, which I know the Freemans can do. This horse can come out and win this race. So I'm going to have it on top at the $4.60. I think $1.90 is good. Good go for the place as well. So I have it on top to beat number 1 Grinzinger Star, who is a horse I'm really keen on once it gets to 2,000 metres. I think first up it was a bit, obviously, it was in that sit and sprint race that won by Harbour Views. Just wasn't able to quicken off that slow tempo over 400 metres, which was kind of expected. This horse will be much better over further, and it gets up that 1,700 here, which it did beat Mr. Quickie last time, second up over the mile. So it can win at this sort of distance range. Of course, on that occasion, it was carrying 54 kilos. It's going to be carrying the 60.5 tomorrow, so it's got to carry a bit of weight second up here, but I'd expect it'll be in the finish. In for third, number 2, Mr. Mickey Blue Eyes. I think this horse, been waiting for it to jump up in distance. I thought its effort last time out at Bendigo behind Suey's Comet was quite sound. It didn't really get a whole lot of luck on the fence there. I'd say that this time around, it looks that Max to get a pretty good run in the race. I think that it'll be closing into the line well. The other horse I want to give a chance to is number 4, Jenkins. This horse was scratched from a midweek meeting and brought to this one instead. It was really good behind Strategic Phil, hit line well. That horse has since come out, won again, so the form lines are pretty good behind Strategic Phil. So I think that Jenkins has got a good chance as well. And it was really interesting for me that they didn't go for the easier race during the week and it's come to this race instead. So I give it the chance. So for me, it's the top 4 that are the chances in the first. Look, Arctic Shock, as I said, from the inside barrel, probably get a decent run into the race and be right in there. And Extreme Pride, say you swing like the Vidgear, they'll all be around the speed. But for me, very keen about these top 4. I think that if they go to genuine tempo, these 4 come right in the race and they'll be too good for these. So for me, number 3, Starcaster on top. To beat number 1, Grinzinger Star in for second. In for third, number 2, Mickey Blue Eyes. And in for fourth, number 4, Jenkins. Moving on to race number 2, it's the QMS Media Plate over 400 metres for the 3-year-old fillies. Look at the speed map here. I'd say that, Night Express will come out off that inside barrier. It's running tonight at Pakenham. It's my best bet of the card, so there's a little spoiler alert. I'd definitely be getting on that in the first at Pakenham tonight if you haven't already done so. But say Charlize will be up there Tubby 2 tracks might be forward. Stay Gold, Ginny Ann usually likes to roll forward. Pretty brazen, bit of a sticky draw from out there. It's going to have to find a decent spot from there. But look, for me, I wanted to go a bit of value here. I think Talented is massively over the odds here. I know that it hasn't really performed this preparation. It's had a few disappointing runs in a row, but for me, this is by far the easiest field it has faced to date. And if it's going to win a race and if it's going to show its best form, this will be the one. And I find it interesting that the Snowdens are keeping this horse going. I feel like it's had 4 runs now. It's been disappointing. They've got to be confident that it'll run a good race soon. And so for me, I just thought I'd want to have a crack at the $31. I think that's just massively over the odds if this horse can show anything close to its best. In for second, number 1, Ready, Set, Sail. I think has a very good draw into the race. It was really good first up. First up it was a little bit disappointing by Lovey Gabby, but second up last preparation, it won a Group 3 up the straight, beating, of course, Flit at Flemington, which is pretty good form. So I think that this horse will improve. Didn't really get a whole lot of luck in that Moonee Valley run first up, so I think it'll get a much better chance to win here tomorrow. In for third, number 3, Pretty Brazen. I was massively keen on this horse at Bendigo when it won by an absolute street. I couldn't believe it went round at the $3.60 and it got smashed in late to $2.40 on that occasion. And it got a perfect run of the race. For me, my only concern is barrier 12. It looks a real sticky barrier for it. It's going to need a lot of luck coming into the race. And the other one that I want to give a bit of a chance to is number 10, Need New Friends, for Danny O'Brien. I think this horse was a little bit was okay done by me last time out at Bendigo, and its maiden win at Kyneton was very impressive. So I think this horse got a bit of ability and it can bounce back at the $11. So very good race number 2. It's quite open, but for me, just think number 4, Talented, if it could show up and do something at its best. It's got barrier 4, so I'm actually hoping that they can be positive at that barrier with not a lot of speed on the inside barrier. So get forward, maybe get in behind Ready, Set, Sail and find a good cart for the race. So I think that just $31 is massively over the odds, so I'm going to have it on top to beat number 1, Ready, Set, Sail at the $7.50. In for second, in for third, number 3, Pretty Brazen, and in for fourth, number 10, Need New Friends. Moving on to race number 3, 1400 metre 3-year-old Polytrack Gothic Stakes. Looking at the speed map here, I'd say that Lord Markle and Hilo will find the top Defiant Dancer, and Alabama Express will probably press forward as well, but not a whole lot of speed in the race. Look, for me, despite that probably lack of speed, I'm hoping this horse doesn't get too far back, but I'm quite keen on Triton Rising here. I thought its run last time out at Flemington was terrific. It was against the pattern that day. He really had to be on speed on that occasion. This horse came from well back in the field, really charged the line well. But I think this horse is getting very close to a win, and this is going to be the one for me, and it's paying some decent odds as well. So I'm pretty keen to be with Triton Rising. Ahead of, just give me a quick second. Yeah, so keen to be with Triton Rising. At the $7, I think is a really good price. It's in a stronger grade here, but for me, that soul patch form is really good. While it reads a 64 on paper, it definitely was a much better race than that. So for me, I'm keen to be with Triton Rising at the $7, ahead of number 3, High Low, who will be up on speed, making its own luck. I think there won't be a lot of speed in the race, and as such, just like last start, it just was taken back a bit. Wasn't really ridden to Super. It did go the line with Super Seth, so for me, that's pretty good form. Super Seth, we saw it did last week. And prior to that, it beat South Bank and beat Legionnaire, who are 2 horses that were up and about ever since. So for me, it's got great form lines around it, and it will be a top chance to win this race tomorrow. Just for me, I'd rather go with a bit of value rather than the $3. In for third, I like the Executioner, a bit of odds here. It was very good first up when it was beaten at Warrnambool, by Tarinda, who was rock hard for on that occasion. Then it went to Moorfield, was beaten by a horse called Rocker Bassarana, which of course come across running some good races here. And then up the straight behind Tarry F. It ran okay there. I thought it wasn't too bad. I think that this horse might be building towards a win, and it's just a bit over the odds at the $16. So I'm going to give it a bit of a chance. And number 1, Airborne, I think this horse got a target race fair down the track. Might need this first up run to blow out the cobwebs, but it'll be hitting the line well. So for me, the chances, my numbers, number 7, Triton Rising on top for me at the $7. In for second, number 3, Hilo, give it a very good chance to it. In for third, number 2, the Executioner. And in for fourth, number 1, Airborne. Moving on to race number 4 now. It's the first of the group races of the day. It's the Group 3 Ladbrokes Classic over the 2,000 metres. Look at the speed map here. I'd say that there's not a whole lot of speed in this, so I'd say the thought of that will probably find the top and look to lead all the way like it did last time out. Serengeti will probably be up there with it. Brilliant Venture. I'd say based off that Derby trial, it would probably, where it sat back in the field, it'll go back forward, I think. And Warning will probably be close-ish to the speed. But doesn't seem to be a lot of speed. No, look, I'm hoping that Miami Bound can get out of the gates and press forward and try and get close to the speed, because for me, I think it's the one to beat with Damien Oliver in the saddle. It's $2.80 at the moment. I think it's at a decent price. I thought it was pretty good behind Moonlight Maid. That was a really good form race at Flemington in Group 2 there, Manifold Stakes, of course, that was. And prior to that, it was in some terrific vein of form. So I think this horse got a very good chance at $2.80. Going to have it on top to beat number 3, Warning, who, as I said, if they can get forward off that outside barrier, barrier 8, it will be right in the race again. That was a terrific win last time out over the 800 metres at Flemington. Gets that extra 200 metres. I think from what we saw there, it'll go through. It'll go with the distance perfectly. In for third, look, number 7, Thought of That. We'll get an easy time to speed. And look, the blinkers changed it last time out at Donald. It was only a maiden, but gee, it couldn't have done much more. 8-length win was terrific. If it does anything like that, we know what Linda Meach can do when she's on pace and gets the dictates. So give her a very good chance to win. And in for fourth, number 4, Creator, I think was just massively over the odds at $19. This is a horse that was a little bit disappointing last time out, the Giddy's Prelude behind Alligator Blood. But as you maybe can cast your mind back, all the horses at the front were in the finish there. Nothing from the back came on and got close to the race. So I could forgive that run. Prior to that, it was very good behind Legionnaire. If it can go back to that sort of form, it could be winning this race. So I thought it was massively over the odds at $19. Can't believe it's those sort of odds. If you want to have something at that, I'll definitely suggest it. So for me, race number 4, look, a very good race, but I like to go with number 9, Miami Bound, the favourite. I think it's just got a lot of upside, and it's proven to me that it's going to be right in the finish. So I'm happy to be with it. Ahead of number 3, Warning, and for second. And for third, number 7, Thought of That. And for fourth, number 4, Creator. Moving to race number 5, over 1,100 metres, it's the Carlton Draft Alinghi Stakes. I'm looking at the speed map here. I'd say Vinnie Kunka will find the top. Working from home will probably run with it. And Victory Kingdom won't be far off, and Tatiara will probably sit just in behind. So there's not a lot of speed in the race. As such, just based off the speed map, I think Demerara is going to get the perfect run of the race. And I was very keen on her last week till she got scratched. And she's in this race. It's much easier. So if I was going to tip her on top for a better race, got to tip her on top here. So I thought she was really good first up behind Zatori. Her second up stats are terrific. 3 starts, 2 wins and a second up. So she should be right in the finish. And I'm very happy to be with her based off barrier 5. I think she's going to get the perfect cut in behind and probably the 3 pairs back on the outside, peel out and go around and win. For me, Vinnie Kunka's a bit over the odds here. I think this horse has got a lot of ability to be up on speed, rolling probably on its own. And of the other on-speed contenders, I think this horse is much better than them. So I think it will be able to burn them off and give them a good sight to chase down. It was really good in a round-week trial, beating Brave Song, who's going around in a very good race later on in the program. Last preparation, it was beaten by Liar in the 2-year-old fillies race there. We know how good that form is. And, of course, went into the Blue Diamonds. Only 3.7 lengths off Liar on that occasion. So, for me, this horse got a great chance first up, probably over the odds there. In for third, number 3, Soothing. I think it's got a good chance as well. It was really good last start at Morphettville. But for me, $2.80 is very, very short. And then in for fourth, I would like to go at number 2, Hummer Hummer. I think will also be a track in the race. It was very good last start at Moonee Valley. It was a terrific run, and it'll run close to that again. I've left out number 4, Prophet's Thumb, just because, for me, of all of them, barrier 1 looks to be the most difficult for me, and I just don't see it. It's going to need a bit of luck coming into it. I was very keen on it last week, so I thought that the map was going to suit her. But this time around, I don't think that suits her at all. So I want to be against it this time around just because I give a few others a chance. But she'll definitely go on my quaddie. So recapping the numbers for me on race number 5. I'm quite keen on number 1, Demerara on top. To beat number 5, Vinnie Kunka, I thought was a little bit over the odds. In for second, number 3, Soothing. In for fourth, number 2, Hummer Hummer. Moving on to race number 5, and it's the 3-year-old fillies Group 3 Bloodstock Ethereal Stakes, and over the 2,000 metres once again. A lot of these are heading towards perhaps the Oaks, so it's a very good key form race. Look at the speed map here. Don't think there's going to be a lot of speed in it, I'd say. Celestial Falls will find the top. Jamaica won't be far off. Ocean Mist and a Tame will probably try and get across from outside barriers as well. But for me, not a lot of speed in the race. And as such, I do think that number 2, Celestial Falls, will be hard to beat again. I know that on the day, the pattern was to be on speed. This horse, Celestial Falls, gave a good kick. and they weren't able to run her down. But I just think for me that she's just going to map to get the perfect run again. She's just going to lead, give a great kick, and be really hard to run down. I had a recent tick over trial at Warwick Farmer. I thought it was well held and it was quite good to the line there. And I just think it'd be really hard to beat. The second horse that I want to have is number 8, Jamay, who's $10. And this horse was really charging to the line late behind Celestial Falls, a top run. And it's a horse that's going to be looking for 2,000 metres. So for me, I want to give it a good chance as well at the $10. I think that was well over the odds. In for fourth, number 14, Cape Leonard, I think is also the odds. Going to be back in the field, but that was a terrific run right down the outside against the pattern. Went around 150 to 1 on that occasion, but if it could replicate that sort of run, it would be going very close once again. The other one I want to give a bit of a chance to is number 4, Snap Dancer. I think this horse is drawn to get a good run of the race at barrier 6. Hoping that they'll be a bit prominent. It's coming out of different form lines. I think it's got the better form lines as well. I think that form behind acting in the 1,000 Guineas prelude is very good form. And then prior to that was only just beaten by 0.2 length by Legionnaire. So this horse will be right in the finish as well. Recap the numbers for me. Number 2, Celestial Falls on top for me. I just think it will lead all the way, be hard to chase down. In for second, I'm going to give it number 8, Jamay, a good chance. In for third, number 14, Cape Leonard. In for fourth, number 4, Snap Dancer. Moving to race number 7, it's the McCafe Sprint Group 2 over the 1,000 metres. And look at the speed map here. I'd say that there'll be a little bit of speed. I'd say Miss Leonidas and McLaren will get off the inside barriers and get forward. Not enough effort. I'm Immortal will get out and dash across as well. I'd say there'll be a little bit of pace in the race. And as such, just for me, I think barrier 10 actually suits this horse perfectly. And Tactical Advantage has got a great chance in this one. It's a field that I could see this horse beating. It was a little bit disappointing first up at the Valley, but I remember Chris Lee saying it just didn't handle the Valley track there. It comes to Caulfield. I think it'll be much better on this occasion. Looking at last preparation, second up over the 1,200 metres, it was finishing late behind the Bostonian in Group 1 there. So that's very good form. And then obviously that was the Tab Doom at 10,000 for a matter of fact. So very good form. And it did hit the line okay behind Nature Strip first up. So for me, I do think this horse needs a bit further, but they might just run this race to suit this horse, and it might just come off and really blouse them. I think I just wanted to give it on top of the $10. I thought that was massively over the odds. So I've got it on top to beat number 9, God of Thunder, who was terrific first up. Its first run here in Victoria behind Hummer at Moonee Valley. We'll get to see that form line with Hummer going around the previous race, but for me, this horse has never missed the top 3 finish. Don't think he'll be doing it here either. They'll run this race to suit. He'll be charging late. In for fourth, number 2, Malibu Style. I think they've left this horse out once again. It's got some good form lines leading to this. It's won at Caulfield before. Last time out, it was just beaten by Zatora. I think the form of that race has been terrific. And prior to that, it was just beaten by Sosa Bond in Group 3. So that was, of course, the Aries Star. So this horse is really up and about. And again, really missed the top 4 finish. I think at $12 and $3.40 the place, you could do a lot worse. So I'm going to have it in the numbers as well. And then number 4, Miss Leonidas in for fourth. Just for me, it was really good last time out at Moonee Valley. I was really coming back at Nature Strip late, so that was a terrific run. And at Caulfield, this horse really loves this track. It's had 4 starts at the track for a win and 2 placings. So I do give it a great chance to win this race. And obviously a bit of a step down in grade from Group 1 to Group 2 quality. And it's a little bit of a weak Group 2. I think it's got a great chance. But for me, look, I want to beat it number 3, Tactical Advantage on top. Just saw as massively over the odds. It's a genuine Group 1, Group 2 horse that can win this race. In for second, number 9, God of Thunder, who's got to step up now, but has the low weight and hasn't missed the top 3 finish. So I think it'll be well into the finish once again. In for fourth, number 2, Malibu Style. In for third, number 2, Malibu Style, who I could really entertain having each way go at. In for fourth, number 4, Miss Leonidas. Moving on to race number 8, it's the Ladbrokes Moonga Stakes, and it's a Group 3 at 1,400 metres. Look at the speed map here. I'd say that Royal Meeting's the obviously question. It will be probably not about midfield, not far off them. So Desert Lord, Tom Melbourne will find the top. Variation, the Western Australian visitor will get across, and Streets of Avalon will be up there as well. So it should be a decent speed. And for me, this race just maps perfectly for Royal Meeting here. And this horse got a lot of ability. It's got to carry 60 kilos first up, but Pad Cosgrove, only ride of the day. Say Benson Soror, we know what he can do with these sorts of horses. He's brought them over last Spring Carnival, and he was excellent with them with Ben Battle and Best Solution. This horse has got terrific form. It beat Hermosa, who's a real top-line Group 1 horse at France. And I know it's had a long spell between. It's had a few issues, but if this horse is up and ready to go, and from what few of the runs around wherever it's been really good, this horse will be extremely hard to beat. It's a genuine Group 1 horse against a very average Group 3 field. I think it'll be beating this field quite easily. It's one of the best bets of the card and of the day. It's number 2, Royal Meeting at the $3.40. The other horse has a bit of a chance, number 1, Landed Plenty. I mean, it's they've saved this horse a little while now, the Snowdens. They've just given it a couple of trials over the last couple of months. And for me, first up here, it might really give a good side. First up last preparation at Moonee Valley in Group 2 in the Australia Stakes. It was charging line late by Whispering Brook. Then it went to the 400 metres, was just narrowly beaten by Manuel. So this horse is right up to this sort of Group 3 race, and this really could be a race for it as well. If Royal Meeting doesn't show up and produce close to his best, Land of Plenty will be definitely winning this race. So they're definitely the 2 chances. In for third, number 8 Variation, the West Australian Visitor. I think this Scott Miller's got a good horse. Stephen Miller, not Scott Miller. Has a very good horse on his hands here. We know what the Western Australians have done when they've come over here. They've relished these group races. So this could be a horse that could do it once again. So I've got it in for third. And then for fourth, number 9 Desert Lord, who for me I thought was a pretty good run last time out in a Group 1 behind Colding. Of course, was the Epsom. Prior to that was very good behind Colding in a Group 3, the Bill Ritchie. So this horse is knocking on the door as well, winning a big race. So for me, number 2, Royal Meeting, if it shows up anywhere near as close to its best, it'll be winning this race, and I think quite comfortably. In for second, number 1, Land of Plenty. In for third, number 8, Variation. In for fourth, number 9, Desert Lord. Moving on to race number 9, and this is the Stella Artois Caulfield Cup over 2,400 metres, Group 1 race. Terrific race. Look, it's very hard to map some of these, obviously, internationals in terms of where they'll land. But for me, I'm pretty confident with Wolf finding the top. I'd say Crown Prosecutor probably is the inside barrier barrier 2 to get into a prominent spot. I'd say Kafilla will be up there. Angela Truth will definitely be forward. Hartnell, Finch, Brimmer Rocks, they'll all be forward. So real interesting onto where they get to in the run. For me, bit of a tricky gate for Murder Glass. A very good rate for Ross Rapovich. Red Verdon, Mustajir, they've got some nice gates as well. It's really interesting to see where they map out. And for me, it's going to be a very good race. There's some real interest in this race. For me, look, I'm going to be with Constantinople. I think that its best form wins this race. It's as simple as that. The Hayes camp is so happy with the way this horse has come in and presented itself. And for me, it's just building and building and building. This horse is one that is going to win this race. It's just really mapped well, and I think it'll be extremely hard to beat. So I'm going to have it on top. Ahead of number 14, Vow and Declare. I think this is the best Aussie chance, this horse. It was terrific last time out. First up behind Kingswood Dream in the Tab Turnbull Stakes. If it can run similar to that sort of run, it will go very well here. And I've got, of the Australian chances, it's got probably the best chance over Finch, because I thought that it was charged line just as good as Finch. And Finch has had a couple of runs before that Tab Turnbull run. So this horse will be second up, be much more improved, Vow and Declare. So I think it's got a good chance in for second. In for third, number 3, Murder Glass. And this Japanese horse has got so much ability. Damien Lane's rode it in a couple of starts, so it knows the horse well. It'll be right in this here, and it's got a terrific fresh record. 5 starts for 3 wins and two placings. So I'm very confident being the top 3 finish. And then in for fourth, number 2, Mirage Dancer has got a bit of a tricky gate, but the Busseltons are very keen on this horse. I think it's got a lot of ability. I think it might be ready to go first up as well after a short break. The other chances that I give, I think Mr. Quickie can run into the race. I don't think he can win it. Finch can definitely win the race, so I've left him out of my top 4, but he's going in my quaddie. Mustajir, Chris Lee's quite keen on its chances. Think it's got a very good chance of winning the race, so I'm keen to see how it will go. But for me, it's got to step up a little bit to get up to some of these ones that I've got in the top 4. So just keeping a little bit of an eye out for me. I think Mustajir will be better at the 3,200 metres of the Melbourne Cup. Red Verdon's got a good chance. Crown Prosecutor's got a decent chance at being the New Zealand visitor, and obviously the chosen one was terrific last week. So very open Caulfield Cup, but recapping the numbers for me, number 11, Constantinople, for me is going on top. In for second, I like the chances of Vow and Declare, number 14. Just thought of the Aussie horses. It's got a very good chance of running a good race. In for third, number 3, Murder Glass, and in for fourth, number 2, Mirage Dancer. Moving on to race number 10, it's the final race of the program, the Schweppes Tristark Stakes over the 400 metres for the Mares Group 2 race. looking at the speed map here, I'd say that Jamaican Rain will find the top with Spanish Whisper. Savatiano will probably get across on the outside barrier and be prominent. Bella Martini will be up there. Say Vincent Bellinatana will try not to be too far off either. Really interesting race, this one, because some of the decent chances are drawn in tricky barriers, so you've just got to keep that in mind. For me, I just want to be a number one in Vincent Bella here. I think $10 is really nice odds. I thought it was pretty good first up by Mizzy on that occasion. Second up here, probably a bit over a little bit further, but look at last preparation. I mean, it was behind Savatiano in a group three, second up at Eagle Farm over 300 metres. It would close the line well when nothing was really making ground that day. Then fourth up went beat Platinum Angel in a group three, then beat Pudakar in a group one. So I think this horse just a bit over the odds here, and I'm going to have it on top. To beat number 7 Pudakawa, who was really good last time out. It was a real terrific run behind Hawkbury on her in the Group 2 Blazer Stakes at Flemington last start. Third up here looks to appeal a lot. In for third, I like the chance number 9 Jamaican Rain first up here. I think it's got a very good chance. It's got terrific fresh record, 6 starts, 4 wins. Recent trial at Cranbourne was terrific. And for me, it's got a very good chance. I wouldn't be leaving it out of Quaddy's first 4 trifectas. And then in for fourth, number 11, Angelic Ruler for me. This horse has been around the market. It will be there again. Drawn a bit of a difficult barrier, so I won't want to get too far back. I might want to settle about midfield, hopefully, and come into the race from there. So, recap the numbers for me in the final race of the card. Very tricky last race, but number 1, Invincible, I thought represented a bit of overs, so happy to be that on top. Ahead of number 7, Pudakara for second, and for third, number 9, Jamaican Rain, and then for fourth, number 11, Angelic Ruler. So, look, early quaddie for me. So, for me, I'm going to just look at the late quaddie. My numbers in leg number 1, race number 7 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 9. Leg number 2, race number 8, 1, 2, 8, and 9. Leg number 3, race number 9, 2, 3, 4, 6, 11, 14, 16. And in leg number 4, race number 10, 1, 3, 6, 7, 9, 11. So $50 would get you just under 5%, and $100 would get you just under 10%. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but for me, looking at the Caulfield Cup leg, I mean, you've got more than likely you're going to easily have something over $7 win. So it'll pump a little bit into the quad, and I think there could be a bit of a rough result there. And then in the last race, Pudakara is the favourite at the moment at $4.60. So you've got a bit of value around there. So I think that the quaddie can end up paying quite a bit. So I think that we can go in with those numbers all right. I didn't want to play an early quaddie because for me, just couldn't quite get the percentage high enough. And I think that there could be a few favourites to win early. So we'll go against doing that. But look at my best bets of the card. Look, I think for me, I'm quite keen to be with race number 4, number 9, Miami Bound. I think it'll be extremely hard to beat at the $2.70. So race number 4, number 9, Miami Bound, one of my best bets. Race number 8, number 2, Royal Meeting at the $3.40. I think will be the other one that'll be extremely hard to beat. It's probably my best bet of the program, number 2, Royal Meeting in race number 8. My best each way plays. I think that for me, I can back race number 7, number 3, Tactical Advantage at $10 and $3 a place is my best value bet. I think it'll be right in the finish and was well over the odds. The other one I want to give a bit of a chance for each way is race number 3, number 7, Triton Rising at the $7 and $2.30 a place. So good luck if you're playing tomorrow and enjoy some terrific races tomorrow, the Caulfield Cup. Of course, stay tuned. I'll be looking at the Randwick Everest meeting just after this. Terrific racing tomorrow. Really looking forward to it. Hopefully we can find plenty of winners. Get some good winners tonight at Pakenham as well. So if you already haven't done so, go check out my social media pages. C-Lane Racing Tips on Facebook and C-Lane_Racing Tips on Instagram, where you'll find all of these tips as well as the tips tonight for Pakenham. So stay tuned for the Everest preview and, of course, the Randwick meeting in a whole. And good luck if you're playing tomorrow, and good luck and happy punting.